Hello dear students. In this subject hydraulic engineering, I will discuss today fluid kinematics. In the last class we discussed about fluid statistics, in which we discussed about the fluid characteristics when it is at rest. But here this fluid kinematics which deals with the study of the characteristics of fluid motion, velocity, acceleration, okay, without going through the forces causing the motion. We will not deal with the forces which is causing the motion, only the fluid velocity, its acceleration, how it's moving, that is discussed here. That will be discussed here. There is two methods on which the fluid motion is usually described. First one is Lagrangian method. A motion can be described using these two methods. Okay, Lagrangian method. In this method, observer concentrate on the movement of a single particle in space. Here, this is the medium where fluid is moving. Okay, the observer concentrates a single particle, a particular particle, how it is moving, okay. So that is, so observer concentrate only this single particle, how it's moving. That is called Lagrangian method. In this method, the u is expressed as partial derivative of x with t. X, y, z are the distance or the displacement in x, y and z direction. U, a, v, w are the velocities in x, y and z directions. So u is expressed as del x by del t, v is del y by del t, w is del z by del t. Acceleration, which is the derivative of velocity with respect to time, it will give you del square by x by del t square. Y, that is acceleration in y direction, that is del square y by del t square. Az, that is the acceleration in z direction, is del square z by del t square. So resultant velocity is the square root of the velocities, sum of squares of velocities in x, y and z direction, that is square root of u square plus v square plus w square. Acceleration is the square root of x square plus ay square plus az square. Usually this method is very complex in solving the equations. That's why it's not used in fluid mechanics, rarely used in fluid mechanics. However, Eulerian method which is simple, which uses simple mathematics, and the observer here concentrate on a point in fluid system. Here this is the system where fluid move. Okay, observer concentrate on a single point at a particular point, how the movement or the motion of fluid occurring at this location only. So here the velocity is function of x, y, z and t. Velocity is in y direction also function of x, y, z, t. Z direction, that is w, is function of x, y, z and t. So in x direction, the velocity, the change in velocity we can write, that is in terms of partial derivatives, that is u, since u is function of x, y, z and t, 4 terms. So in partial derivative it should be del u by del x dx plus del u by del y dy, del u by del z dz, del u by del t dt. Okay, next ax, the acceleration which is nothing but du by dt. So du by dt, that is u del u by del x, means is dx by dt is du. Here du by dt is v, the dz by dt is w, and dt will cancel here. So it will be u del u by del x plus v del u by del y plus w del u by del z plus del u by del t. So this, the velocity expression with respect to this acceleration with respect to space is called convective acceleration. The acceleration with respect to this time is called local acceleration. Similarly, in y direction we can express the acceleration which is dv by dt, which is equal to u del v by del x plus v del v by del y plus w del v by del z plus del v by del t. And z direction acceleration del du w by dt, u del w by del x plus v del w by del y plus w del W by del Z plus W by del T. So resultant velocity is equal to square root of u square plus b square plus w square, and resultant acceleration is equal to square root of x square plus a square plus az square. This method is simple mathematics, so usually this method is applicable in fluid mechanics. Let this problem solve this problem. Here the velocity and acceleration is saying to us, that is find the velocity and acceleration at point 1, 2, 3 after 1 second for a 3D flow given by the velocity expression in x, y, z direction is given. Yz plus t, b is xz minus t, w is xy. See, here we can write this velocity in vector form. In vector form, we will write it will be yz plus t I cap plus xz minus t j cap plus xy k cap. So here the velocity, resultant velocity will be equal to this. If we put this 1, 2, 3 value y, z, x, y, z and t 1, then you will get 7 I cap plus 2 j cap plus 2 k cap, which is actually equal to square root of 7 square plus 2 square plus square, which is 7.55 meter per second. The acceleration that we expressed already, dv by dt, u del v by del x, v del v by del y plus w into del v by del z plus del v by del t, which is the partial derivative of v, this velocity, okay, with respect to x. That will be u, just to write u value, u yz plus t whole into the expression, the derivative of v with respect to x. This with respect to x will be j cap plus k cap, means here z j cap plus y k cap. Similarly here b del v by del y, w del w by del z, this is del v by del t. Del v by del t is the I cap minus j cap. So here at 1, 2, 3 point, it will be, if we put x value, y value, z value as 1, 2, 3, then you will get 10 I cap plus 23 j cap plus 16 k cap plus I cap minus j cap. So here local acceleration, you can say this term is local acceleration, I cap minus j cap. So it will be 1 square plus minus 1 square plus square root. Then it will give you the square root 1 plus 1 square root of 2, root 2, that is root 2. And it is 1 minus 1 meters per second square along x direction. It is, the value is square root of 2. Here convective acceleration is this 10 square plus 23 square plus 16 square root. Okay, the point 10, 23, 16 in x, y, z direction. Okay, this value, whatever the value will come, that is your convective acceleration. And total acceleration, if you have to calculate, then it will be this I cap, just add this I cap, 10 plus 1 square plus 23 minus 1, 22 square plus 16 square. The square root of all these three terms, it will give you 23.934 meter per second square. Next comes to these types of fluid flow. What are different types of fluid flow? We are familiar with this steady, unsteady flow. What is steady? Steady, we know these fluid characteristics such as velocity, pressure, okay, even depth. Even the depth of flow does not change with respect to time. It remains constant with respect to time in steady flow, but in unsteady flow, it changes with respect to time. Similarly, uniform and non-uniform flow with respect to space. Fluid characteristics and their velocity, pressure, even the depth, the flow depth does not change. It remains constant throughout the length of the river, length of the system. Means with respect to space, if it is changing, it is called non-uniform flow. For an example, flow in prismatic pipe. In prismatic pipe means the pipe shape and size remains constant. Even its roughness value remains constant, that is called prismatic pipe. If shape size is changing, roughness is changing, that is called non-prismatic pipe. So in prismatic pipe, usually the flow is always uniform. If all shape size, that is roughness changes, then in non-prismatic pipe it changes. that is called non-uniform flow. 1 to 3 dimensional flow, 1 dimensional, 2 dimensional, 3 dimensional. 1 dimensional example, flow in a pipe, only in 1 dimension, that is considered. In that in y direction it is neglected. Flow in mainstream means major direction is in longitudinal direction. Flow in mainstream, there is longitudinal direction and lateral direction in x and y. Okay, in this direction. This is the flow in 3 direction, means flow in converging and diverging pipe. There will be flow in vertical direction, lateral direction, in longitudinal direction, to 3 direction. Next is compressible or incompressible. Compressible means which you can compress. Means if you compress, then volume changes, then density changes. That is called compressible. Incompressible flow means the density remains constant during the flow. Means if you see the flow of gases, if you see the liquid, then its density remains constant as far as the temperature is constant. But in case of gas, it's always ready for the compression. Gas is always ready for compression, so you can easily compress. Flow gas through nozzle is compressed flow. That is one example. Rotational, irrotational. Rotational means which rotate. Irrotational which does not rotate. Fluid particle rotate over their own axis. Means flow near solid boundary. Here this is the pipe. Okay. If there is flow is occurring, then here there will be rotation. In this here there will be rotation. Okay, but here there will be no rotation, straight at the center, just away from boundary, away from here, away from boundary, there will be no rotation. That is irrotational flow. Next, laminar flow and turbulent flow. Laminar flow, if you might know, that fluid layers are parallel to each other. During non-monsoon period, if you go to the river, you will find the fluid layers. Okay, they are parallel with each other. They move parallel. Okay, they move parallel. Fluid layers parallel to each other. Particles don't cross each other's path. They don't cross. Okay. Flow in capillarity of groundwater flows, everything that is laminar condition. Laminar usually occur. You can see in a low velocity when non-monsoon period in river. During the low, if there is no rainfall, nothing, then there will be flow, and the fluid layers remains parallel. They move very slowly and very parallel to each other. That is called laminar flow. But during flood season, okay, flood season there is random flow. Okay, random flow. They cross each other. There is no zigzag manner. Okay, so there is no parallel between these layers. That's called turbulent flow. High velocity flow in conduit of large size, conduit in pipe of large size, high velocity flow is coming, and there will be sudden flow, and this zigzag and random motion will be there. That is called turbulent flow. Flow in the river during flood. Next is pipe flow. Pipe flow, for pipe flow, how to characterize this laminar and turbulent? Using Reynolds number. Reynolds number, no? Rho B d by mu. Reynolds number, that is formula is rho Bd by mu. Rho Bd by mu. If this Reynolds number is less than 2000, then it is called laminar. In case of pipe flow, if it's more than 4000, then it is called turbulent. And this value, if it is in between 2000 to 4000, flow is in transition stage from laminar to turbulent or by turbulent to laminar. Means in transition, either it is come from laminar to changing to turbulent or turbulent to laminar. In between this 2000 to 4000. But in case of open channel, if it is less than 500, then it's laminar. If it's more than 2000, then it is turbulent. In between this 500 to 2000, the flow is in transition stage from laminar to turbulent or vice versa. Rho Bd by mu. Okay, so if you see, if you increase the diameter, then Reynolds number will increase. So the flow, if it's in laminar condition, then it will try to change into the turbulent condition. If you increase the discharge velocity, means if you increase the discharge, okay, then it will try to convert into turbulent. If viscosity will be more, more viscosity. If you increase, then it fluid becomes more dense and its velocity, its Reynolds number will decrease. It will try to become a laminar flow. Okay, so rho Vd by mu. Types of flow lines. Next is flow lines, that is path line, streamline. Okay, path line means path followed by a particular fluid particle in motion. When fluid is in motion, if you concentrate on one particle, how it's moving, okay, its path of a particular liquid fluid particle, that is called path line. The line joining the location of the path of that particular fluid particle. Okay, so this is the path line. Streamline. Streamline is an imaginary line. It is not actually present in real condition. It is an imaginary line within the flow, so that the tangent at any point on it. This is the streamline. Okay, the tangent at any point will give you the velocity in that direction. So this is called streamline, an imaginary line within the flow, so that the tangent at any point on it indicates the velocity at that point. So equation of the streamline, remember, that is dx by du equal to dy by v is equal to dz by w. Okay. Next is characteristic of this streamline. These streamlines, it cannot intersect itself. Not two streamlines can cross. Not two streamlines can cross. It cannot intersect. No movement across the streamlines. There is no movement in this direction. Streamline indicate the direction of number of particles at same instant. Series of streamlines represent the flow pattern. This series represent the flow pattern, how flow is moving. In steady flow, the path line streamlines are identical. This path line in steady flow. In unsteady flow, velocity changes, so this path line and streamline changes. But as far as this, the flow is steady, this path line and streamlines are both same. Both are identical. The stream tube. Stream tube is nothing but this fluid mass surrounded by group of streamlines. These are group of streamlines. Okay, these are groups. So this group, okay, the fluid mass surrounded by group of streamline are called stream tube. Streak line. Streak line is the locus of fluid particle which have earlier passed through a common point. Means the locus of the fluid particle, means the fluid particles which have passed through a common point earlier. For an example, path taken by smoke coming out chimney. If I have marked that chimney, a path is coming, you can see, okay, in the air you can see that already the smoke is already come out, already fluid particle is left from that position. But you will see, yes, you will find a line, you will find, you can see it is visible, it will be visible, that is streak line. This is the dike. This is a dike and there is tracer. Okay, tracer flow. Here the means this is the locus of the points, the means fluid particles, okay, which they have passed from a common point here. Okay, so this is the streamline. Here it is for steady flow, and this is the this in this direction moving, it is in this direction is moving, it is in this direction is moving, it is in this direction is moving. Then now the fluid particle position here, fluid particle position here and here. Okay, all the particles, all these fluid particles are passed through this common point, one common point. So now its position is there. The locus of the locus means if you join this, the present position if you join, okay, then it will give you one line, that is called streak line. When these particles, now their position you just join, which have passed a common point, okay, that is called streak line. Okay, let's solve one problem on the streamline. These are the two equations given. Okay, for this following flow, find equation of streamline passing through this point 2, 2. First equation, v equal 3x I cap minus 3y j cap. Equation of streamline to will be dx by u equal to dy by v. Okay, So du is 3x, b is minus 3y. If you integrate both sides, it will be 1 by 3 ln x plus equal to minus 1 by 3 ln y plus there will be one constant, so it will be 1 by 3 ln c. 1 by 3 you take dy is ln y, okay, and another ln c. So it will be minus 1 by 3 ln y plus 1 by 3 ln c. So it will be, if you just simplify it, you will get xy is equal to c. So for streamline passing through 2, 2, the c will be 2 into 2, 4. So the equation of streamline will be xy equal to 4. Similarly here, u is minus y square, b is minus 6x. So if you integrate both sides, it will give you 6x you take in this side towards dx, and y square you take in this dy side. So it will give you integration of 6x dx, integration of equal to integration of y square dy. So it will give you 6. If you just simplify, you will get the this 6x square by 2 is equal to y cube by 3 plus c. So if you put this value, this 2, 2, okay, cc will give you 28 by 3. So the equation of streamline will be this. Here you just put c value, okay, then you will get 3x square minus y cube by 3 minus 28 by 3 is equal to 0. Next is rate of flow or discharge, continuity equation. What is continuity equation? Continuity equation, it obeys the conservation of mass. It says that the fluid mass, okay, in a fluid flow, the fluid mass, okay, remains constant, okay, throughout the flow if no fluid is added or removed from the pipe or from the system, okay, in between the considered sections. Let's consider sections you consider 1 and 2, 1 and 2, okay. In between this 1 and 2, if there is no fluid added or no fluid is removed, okay, then the mass here, this here, okay, m1 is equal to m2. Mass of fluid at section 1 is equal to mass of fluid at section 2. Okay, if no fluid is added or removed from the pipe in any length, then the fluid mass passing across different sections shall be same. The mass, that mass means here mass per unit time is considered. Okay, mass per unit time. So here mass per A1 B1 is the B1 is the distance per unit time. Distance into area is the volume per unit time. So volume into this density will give you mass per unit time. So rho 1 A1 B1 is equal to rho 2 A2 B2. So for incompressible fluid, if density remains constant, then A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2. In the coordinate system, if you do in x, y, z direction, then del y u by del x plus del b by del y plus del w by del z is equal to 0 for incompressible fluid. If it is compressible, then it is just rho you have to consider, and since rho is changing with respect to time, so the time factor you have to take del rho by del t, del by del x over rho u plus del by del y rho b plus del by del y. So this will be z. Del by del z of rho w plus del rho by del t is equal to 0. This is the equation for compressible fluid. That is the continuity equation. So at last, since we are dealing with incompressible law, so we have to remember that the discharge Q1 is equal to Q2. This is nothing but A2 is Q1, okay, and A2 is Q2. So A1 is equal to A2, that is A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2. Let's solve problem and two problems on this continuity equation. If there is a pipe, it is a diverging pipe, okay, means the diameter is increasing. Here section 1, section 2, the diameter is 0.2, here it is 0.3, here it is 0.3. Velocity here it is 4 meters per second. Here velocity is not given, it is asking to calculate. Okay, discharge it is asking and velocity it is asking to calculate. So between the section 1 and section 2, there is no fluid which is added or no flow which is removed. It means considering the continuity equation of conservation mass, the Q1 is equal to Q2, or A1 E1 is equal to A2 U2. Okay, so which is equal to Q. So U2 you can calculate, that's A1 E1 divided by A2. A1 is pi over d1 square, this is pi over d2 square. So if you put here d1 square, du1 will be divided by d2 square, you will get the values. If you put, you will get 1.77 meters per second. So discharge after that discharge you can calculate, that is u2 and u2 in pi over d2 square, or this u1 into pi over d1 square also, that is also discharge. Next problem, here one pipe, it is diverging into two pipe. Okay, two pipe. Here velocity is given, diameter is given. Here velocity is given, diameter is given. Here velocity is not given, diameter is given. So next, here you see, here this is the discharge Q. Okay, it is divided into two parts, Q1 and Q2. Since no fluid is added or removed, then total discharge remains constant. So Q should be equal to Q1 plus Q2. So A1 B1 should be equal to A2 B2 plus A3 B3. So if you put, then Q1 here, this if you put all the values B1, A1, B2, B2, A3, B3, just B3 you can calculate. In this equation, B3 you can calculate. Okay. Coming to the next problem, that is in 3D incompressible fluid flow, velocity components are given. U is equal to dx square plus y square z cube. B is minus of xy plus yz plus x. This is the 3D incompressible fluid flow. The velocity component is given in u direction and v direction. Using continuity equation, find velocity equation in z direction. If z direction is not given, that you have to calculate. So you know, I will be use in this 3 dimension. If you use continuity equation, del u by del x plus del v by del y plus del w by del z is equal to 0. So it will be 2x plus here it will minus x. Del v by del y will be minus x minus z plus del w by del z is equal to 0. So del w by del z will be x plus z minus 2x, which will be z minus x. So w will be z square by 2 minus xz plus, there will be one constant. The constant may be function of, since it is function of we are integrating with respect to z, so that function may be maybe function of x and y. That constant may be function of x and y. So this is the answer. W is z square by 2 minus xz plus f of xy. So this f of xy we could calculate if we have one data point. If we have one data point, then we could calculate this f of xy. So this equation, this answer will be here. W equal to z square by 2 minus xz plus f of xy. This much. Thank you. Thank you so much.